said the biggest challenge is?
The biggest challenge is because if you ask me what happens, sir, in fact, we are a business company. That's what we take fresh up from the market, okay. And as a business company, I have my own limitations in the perspective of brand and the perspective of the payments, okay. But I had to compete with the biggest companies in this country. In fact, take an example. My people normally go for the very good companies called LG Labs, Samsung Labs, and what happens after two and a half years? The aspirations of the student match with the job what we give, but other things. Take an example, compensation. Okay, and compensation is one thing. Culturally, yes, want to talk about little more glamorous companies comparatively what we are. Okay, as a manufacturing, we won't have our own challenges. Okay, challenges in the perspective of the culturally we are little different compared to in a regular software company. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Naveen Kumar. I'm representing a company called Advanta India Limited. We are into agriculture sector. As people told, that the biggest challenge in our organization is also creating a second line pipeline for top level leadership. Being an Indian MNC, we have people across different locations like Argentina, US, Thailand, Australia. We have different subsidiaries in 7 countries. Our biggest challenge today is we have first line pipeline, and for them there is no second line at all. To create a bridge between this first line and second, there is a huge gap. When I was discussing with Atul also how we can use these assessment tools to create that gap. And also we have people in our company 25 years, more than 30 years also. We are trying to understand.
Good afternoon. I am C.K. Murthy representing VMC. It's a manufacturing company. We manufacture telecom and power products. The challenges we face: our customers expect Japanese quality and Chinese price. So far we are able to compete and will continue to compete. The second challenge: in addition to staff, officers, managers, engineers, we have a large number of blue collar workers. Their needs, aspirations are totally different from the qualified engineers. So we need to manage their aspirations, their needs, and their salary levels, etc. That's the biggest challenge.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramana Vemuri, and I represent a company called Security Technologies. Security Technologies is a premier software testing company, and we are almost 100 plus, and we operate from Dallas. And you name any testing in the textbook, we do all of that: performance, automation, functional, whatever it is. So pretty much we only do testing. And at Security, I represent, I had process predominantly. First of all, my title is process and operations, and I take care of process in terms of compliance, methodology development. And the second important function is people, the talent acquisition, talent management, and core HR. And third important thing is technology, the business IT and infrastructure and all that stuff. So my objective is to take care of this triangle connecting these 3 dots. We took a conscious decision instead of keeping them independently. Independently they can run very well, but when it comes to integration, people versus technology, technology versus process, I think we took a conscious decision to bring them under one umbrella. And now you can understand that independently they're all fine, but integration always is a challenge. And coincidentally, the triangle represents stress symbol across the world. You can understand the kind of stress we go through in terms of integrating. And coming to, I'm really excited to see the heterogeneous group here, people from agriculture to pharma to all sectors. I think though I'm coming from IT, but IT will have to learn a lot more things in terms of people side. Somehow we make more money, market capitalization and all, but in terms of learning, I think it's always we go back from conventional. I think I'm really excited. Looks like I'm going to walk out with a lot of learnings today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rekha. I work for an organization called Tanda Operations. We are part of the WPP group. We are primarily into market group companies on secondary market research. which is all the back-end activities of market research, like data processing or analysis or coding of the responses or converting them into reports and all of that. So, I head HR and talent development. The industry is not exactly what we're looking for. So, in fact, whenever we do drives, our conversion ratios are as low as 3 or 4%. So it's a huge struggle for us to get the right kind of people and put the right kind of assessments in place. Two is you can't provide vertical growth to everyone. So it's important that in a small organization you have to be able to have a lot of lateral career paths and movements. But in each of those different functions, skill sets are different, competencies are different. So how do you effectively move one person, from a department to another department? How do you ensure that the person, you're not setting up the person for failure? Okay, the person should succeed in the other department too, irrespective of how different the skills or competencies or expectations are. And the third challenge is, it's very interesting. It's very positive on the one hand that almost 95% of our managers are in growth. They've grown up from the ranks, and huge stability in the organization, huge connect and engagement with the organization. But on the other side, they do not have the professional skills required, to play team leading roles or effective delegation or effective leadership or effective communication. So one is, when you're moving up people through the ranks, how do you do it in a proper way? Like putting them through assessment centers, or not necessarily that a good worker might be a good manager. So how do you apply that and then do that systematically? So that's something that I'm working on, right now, which is the top priority for me. And how do you make them eventually succeed in their roles? So these are the areas that I'm working on. So incidentally, this particular discussion, it's coincidental that it just happened to come up at the right time, and I'm looking forward to a lot of ideas from today's session.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon to all of you. My name is Manuel. I represent an organization called Anthilio Business Technologies. Anthilio is a fairly new organization in Hyderabad. It's primarily based on the US Dallas. It's a healthcare IT services organization, so basically providing healthcare services to hospitals, focused on the hospital segment, where we help hospitals implement various products and take care of their deliveries as well. Challenges that we have is healthcare being a very niche segment, and in the healthcare segment you have to have a lot of people who are, when you talk about products, especially EMR products, there are only a few products which are actually being used by hospitals, and only in the US, and it's not spread across various continents in the world. So there are the greatest challenge we have is scarcity of resources. And the scarcity, I say, because for every kind of resource that we have to have people who are certified in those products. And certifications happen only in the US, they don't happen here. Right? So if we have to have somebody who is certified, then we cannot hire the person because the person is not certified. And if we need to have a certified person, we have to send the person to the US to get him certified. Right? So that's the greatest challenge for us in terms of, that's one challenge in terms of scarcity of resources. The second challenge is if you have people who are certified and the pool is really small, so we end up hiring these resources at really high costs. So that is where the cost factor becomes a huge job for us. So then getting into operational mode itself is the reason why we kind of do this work from India is one of the major reasons being the cost factor. So that is where we are getting hit right now. And so that's from my side. Thank you.
I represent the organization Apollo Health Street. I handle the talent acquisition and talent development, both the and engagement piece too. We are the organization of Core Healthcare, and of course a tough competitor to Emmanuel also. So yes, but then in the healthcare domain, we handle lots of other divisions also. Like if Emmanuel is handling the one department or 3-4 departments, we do an extension of that. So we have about 3,000 head showcase the employee that you have a great career ahead in the organization, because the market is booming in healthcare right now, especially in Hyderabad market. And employees, from that their standpoint, they don't understand that jumping and hopping is just not going to end anywhere. So we wanted to bring and showcase it to them that you have a great career here also, because if you need to get an expertise in healthcare, then you have to grow internally in the organization. So we are trying to develop roles internally so that we can showcase the employee that you have great career here. That's one. Retention is of course a challenge. Second, I think hiring people, because though we are tagged with Apollo, which is a core hospital, we kind of get a impression that we are a hospital organization. So that is something that we wanted to build up the branding also, and then say, okay, no, we're not the hospital, but we are core KPO and a BPO kind of an organization, and attract the talent accordingly. So that is another challenge that we face, predominantly from the IT sector. This session I'm looking forward, because assessing the talent internally to groom in the organization is also been a challenge for us. I'm looking forward that I will take in more good stories from here to implement back in my work. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Surabhi. I'm with Dr. Reddy's Labs, which is a global pharmaceutical company based out of Hyderabad. And I work in I'm with their sales and marketing team, look after talent acquisition and talent management for this particular division. The challenge that we are facing right now is improving the quality of hiring that we're doing, especially since we're hiring the sales force which is spread across the country. How is it that we can improve or give a right reach on the kind of talent that we're getting into the organization? And once the talent is in the organization, how do we ensure that we manage this talent well? Taking care of the fact that when it comes to talent calibration, there's a lot of subjectivity that comes in. So a lot of times the managers will confuse good performance as potential, or sometimes will confuse potential as readiness for the next role. So you have some of these challenges that we're facing currently.
Hi, my name is Sriram. I'm from the shop. Quick introduction about me. I worked with Infosys for about 9 years. I've been with D-Shaw for about 4 years now. D-Shaw is in India, we are about 650 people. Half the firm supports the IT infrastructure, the whole entire thing, which is mostly software that we hire from the top colleges in India, STEM colleges. The other half is the financial operations and research, where we mostly take from Tier 2 MBA and institutes. So that's really the in terms of challenges. Mostly, I think the big thing that we are looking at is developing managerial capability in a structured way, instead of just letting it evolve. How do we kind of ensure that capabilities that we want get built? So that's really
I represent Signity along with Ramna. I wear the dual hats of branding and employer positioning for Signity. The mission of Signity is to become the world's largest independent software testing organization. Right now, we are almost there to be India's largest. The biggest thing that we are trying to do is what we call the career testers, where we're trying to be a one-stop career organization for around about 80,000 plus software testers in the entire country that we have. That's from the current organization standpoint. I'm a core technologist who incidentally happened to wear multiple hats, transcending product management all the way up to talent management. I've worked in a couple of product startups which got acquired. The reason I'm trying to highlight that is my experience stems from handling high-end talent from the premier institutes, both from engaging them and getting the best out of them. So I've handled right from talent management to on-campus hires, and I've also done bootstrapping and incubation models. And I mentor a couple of startups officially as well. So that's where my interest is in the adoption of enterprise social media, workspace social networking, and gamification to engage the Gen Y workforce. At Signity, I've been bestowed with the responsibility of being a bridge between the enterprise class thinking and the new generation. So that's where I assist Ramna with. Thanks.
Most of us. So there is an available pool, you can't do much about it. So whatever we have to live with it. But the question is, from the available pool, are we getting the most of it? And once you've gotten, are we able to make sure that they stay on, they continue with us for a longer time. So, in your experience, if you have any experience which you have done to ensure this happens within the organization, we would like to hear that. That is one. Second is that some of the things that you may want to do, or as an HR fraternity we may want to do, but the business or the management sometimes bulldozes that. This is not required, this is not required. So sometimes the line manager or the business head becomes a little stronger in terms of putting it out and say that we need to hear from you the experiences that you would have, either one, and get the right talent, two, have you faced challenges in terms of implementing such things within the organization? So anybody could volunteer.
I think I'd like to share my experience. First of all, fortunately, the industry in which we are working, testing itself is very challenging. So when someone works with us, actually we inculcate, we encourage, we provoke,